7 days of Halloween.
You see them everywhere now. You don't really give it a second thought. Ads that use tracking cookies to track your browsing history or personal profile and provide suggestions that might appeal to you. You know, the way Amazon suggests new books based on what you just read, or when you search for something on Google and then start seeing ads for it on other websites, or when you're a 20-something-year-old girl in a relationship on Facebook and suddenly all of your ads are for engagement rings and wedding planners. The point is, we're all so used to this that we don't really pay attention to it anymore. But lately, those targeted ads have been unnervingly on point. Buy plastic sheeting in bulk. Electric chainsaws on sale now. Affordable dry lime, overnight shipping available. I don't know how they're doing it. I don't know what technology is driving these changes, but somehow it's like the internet is reading my mind, showing me ads for things that couldn't possibly know I wanted. I swear to God, I didn't touch a keyboard. I didn't do a search. I was so careful to keep all of my plans and research and ideas offline. How is it doing this? How does it know about the bodies? I've always been a creature of habit. Few observations ever elude my mind. That's why I can recall any event down to the smallest insignificant detail, but recently my memories haven't matched up with reality. On any given weekday, I'll return from work. My keys will be in my left inner coat pocket. I'll open the door, retrieve the mail from the assortment of boxes on the left side of the entrance. My apartment is number 7, just like the mailbox. Following this, I'll travel up the stairs to the first floor, 11 steps. I always start with my left and end with my left. At least I thought so. Because a few days ago I tripped. Not because I'm clumsy, but because on that day, I ended the staircase with my right foot. Of course I doubted myself, but it was enough to recheck the amount of steps in the staircase, and sure enough, one was missing. At this point, I could have talked to my neighbors, but they weren't the detail-oriented kind, so I let it slide. It was a minor change, one I quickly adapted to. At least until I lost my wristwatch. The prior night I put it on my nightstand, and the following morning it was simply gone. It wasn't impossible that I misplaced it, but I had a firm memory of placing it on the nightstand. Everything escalated today. I woke up, took a shower, shaved, brushed my teeth, cut my nails, all 9 fingers. 9 fingers. One of them had disappeared, with no trace. Just healthy skin covering the barren knuckle. Not knowing who to call, I turned to my mother. My voice trembled as I explained what had happened. She went quiet for a few seconds before responding with worry in her words. She told me I was born with only 9 fingers. I hung up. It was dark. I sat down, trying to remember. Had I simply forgotten? Was there something wrong with my mind? Only after minutes did I realize I was sitting in the dark, but it was daytime. My apartment didn't have any windows anymore. Panic set in. This wasn't in my head. They don't even make windowless apartments. I tried to escape, but there was no door to flee through. I was trapped in a nicely decorated brick box that was my apartment. I called the police. They claimed my address didn't even exist. After they hung up, I would have called someone else if my telephone wasn't already gone. My computer is all that exists, and I'm trying to write the story with the stumps that were once my hands. Only one middle finger left. A perfect fuck you to myself. I'll have to post while my computer still exists, but think about this. Have you lost anything recently? Such as your favorite mug or a blue pen? Something that just disappeared without a trace? Yeah. That's how it started for me too. Nearly 3 decades ago, work had begun on a machine that could punch a hole through the fabric of reality. A hole straight through to another reality and beyond. The idea was that, with the right circumstances, we could find a universe with limitless energy. This would make up for the unimaginable amounts of power that the machine took up, and the irreparable damage it would likely do to Earth and the surrounding solar system. But if we found a universe at the very beginning of its creation, we'd have unfathomable amounts of raw, undefined energy that would last for a couple billion years. And at the same time, scientists would be able to study universes that followed entirely different laws of physics from our own. A few years before I was born, this was accomplished. With this limitless energy expanding technology beyond anything possible before and solving most of the world's problems. War and struggle had been at an all-time low. That was until a group of religious extremists tried to use the machine to prove the existence of God. This started a war, one of the largest uproars in history. Nearly every single religion turned on this small group of 30 people protected by the United States government. Some were scared that their God would be proven false, and some thought it wrong to try and prove their God real, rather than simply having faith. But in the end, there was no war. World leaders would not attack the US, which supplied their power. And the countries who did were often far too small to do any major damage. The machine was set to search for a universe with the coordinates of various holy numbers from the Christian Bible. For weeks it searched, finding nothing. Different combinations inputted every time a search failed. That was until a little over 4 months ago, January 19th, 2234. We found heaven. There was nothing else it could be. It was a reality of endless sky. Nothing but clouds and blue as far as the eye could see. As far as any creature, machine, or natural entity could go. The air was breathable, fresh, and sweet even. The light was dim, but not too dark to see. And it was entirely empty. The only thing of note were red lakes. Every cloud had them, and they were incredibly fresh. They were still rippling upon entering the universe. Some, in fact, hadn't even fallen to the ground yet. The first 3 even claimed they looked humanoid for a second. The damage to our world upon opening a portal is irreparable and devastating. But we now know the damage to the other world is 1,000 times worse.